This is a whole mess. There we go. Let there be audio.
Do we
Okay.
have audio?
Okay, we are live. I'm so
Hmm.
sorry. We've been talking for the last minute without audio. That is the worst way to start a live, but nothing really goes as planned, right? So, anyways, welcome back to another KPC live with John. As you can see, he did his whole intro, but could you do that again?
Well, yeah, thanks for bringing me back, basically. I read all the comments on your guys' previous live, and I really appreciated it. And also, there were some comments on the next live as well of you guys saying that I should come back. So, yeah, I'm back here to give you guys a little bit of my insights and my opinions. Hopefully, luckily, we don't have backpedal today, so we won't be doing anything to, yeah, like last time. But yeah, we are back.
We are back.
Hmm.
Yes, we are. And just let me know if the audio is okay by now. Some people are saying it's a little bit low. But yeah, let me know if everything's good. Yeah, probably should be a little higher now. Anyways, John is back. Yeah, everybody loves John.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. Some people said I was even funny, which I was like, hey, that's just lying at that point. But yeah, thanks to you guys, I am back. And the reason we started a little bit late was because you had a little bit of work, and also I haven't had breakfast. I woke up at 4 a.m. today, but because of my full time job being on the radio, I went to the convenience store and got us some snacks.
hmm
But before we do that,
Yeah.
do you have sponsor things to do? Sponsor.
Oh, I'll get into that soon. You're like the radio PD name. It's like
It's
you
like,
gotta do
hey,
sponsors.
yeah, that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't know why the audio is a little bit lower than usual, guys. I'm just using the same mic, but somehow there is like a difference. But please bear with that. Yeah. I don't know why. I cannot
Should we have
find.
done mic test before we started?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is how it rolls.
Mm?
Let's see. Like, is this better if I put it in the middle, or I don't know. Okay, let's just deal with it. Yeah, it's okay now. Okay, I don't know. Let's talk a little bit like one pitch higher.
Right.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Well, for me, in the muted section, I was just saying that I slept here in the office because there's like what do you call it? A branded ad I need to tackle until like tomorrow. So very busy for me, and yeah, nothing else than that. I've just been just hustling. Yeah,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I just hit up John the other day because Anna, I think she's busy too, and she
Mm.
was like, "Oh, I need to do a live by myself." So I don't know if she did it already or not, but anyways, yeah, John was, I'm thankful that you're here again, and
Yeah, no, I appreciate you calling me because yeah, and also I don't know if it was all the hassling that I did last time, but you did send in what we're going to talk about a little bit early, and I feel like you
at
sent
like
it,
5 a.m.
yeah, which is when I'm already at work,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like that's when you went to sleep.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly when I went to sleep. So, because I didn't get a lot of sleep, you can see my double eyelid here is a little bit
Mm.
thicker than usual. It's bothering me a lot at the moment. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Glad you could get a bite before this. We didn't get a bite before
But we
this.
did bring it here now.
Yes. Can I have anything?
So yes,
Yeah.
I've been very selective and purposeful when I, bring in stuff. So, the first thing I brought was it's not a, obviously not none of these are promotion, but last time we were here we had the same guy's tiramisu cake,
Oh yeah.
but he also has a brick in collaboration with our university,
No way.
Yonsei University. So yeah, Yonsei University obviously makes one of the best breads
Mm-hmm.
at convenience stores. But yeah, I brought in this to give it a try.
Okay.
And also, I don't know, you've been to the Korean Army, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have a lot of memories of this, but
I did not eat that. No.
I used to eat this so much because I was a MP, I was a military police officer, and at times when you're in your crew work, you can't go to your mess, so we'll just basically live off this. And the snack that I had the most in the army was Dongduk.
Really?
So
Okay.
these two are like my go-to snacks in the army, and yeah, just
Wait,
yeah.
you went to the army?
Yeah, I went to the Air Force. I was in the MP.
I thought you were New Zealand.
I'm a New Zealand permanent resident.
What do you wait? What do you call a New Zealand person?
Kiwi.
Like officially?
Yeah.
Really?
It's officially called Kiwi.
So it's like Korean, Australian, Kiwi?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, it's not like New Zealander or Lander or.
Okay, so if you say New Zealander, people will understand, but you will look like a tourist.
Okay.
So it's like okay, but yes, people in New Zealand are called Kiwis. If you want to be a little bit more derogatory towards white people, you can say Pakia, which it just means generally the white people who basically the Europeans who came to New Zealand. And if you want to talk about the native people there, they're called Maoris. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the breakdown over there.
But let's
have one of the bread. And in the meantime, I will introduce the topics for today, guys. I know everybody has been anticipating a lot for this week's live. So today we're going to be talking about a lot of heated topics, such as South Korea seeing the highest surge in immigration in the OECDs, and of course NewJeans Hanni, her harassment case getting an update, and then there's MHJ resigning from Ador as internal director. She breaks ties with Hybe, and then should schools aim for phone-free learning environment? That's one. And then we have Telegram vowing to delete deepfakes targeting Koreans. Blackpink's Rose coming back with a new single following global success of Apatu. And Seoul topping the global best cost of living city ranking. aespa and Seoul Metro doing an oopsie with Chinese tourists and Chinese people. Animals on wheels. And then, of course, the most heated topic of this week, Dongduk Women's University protesting against the co-ed transition situation. So these are going to be our main topics for today. And if you wait a little bit, within an hour and a half, we will try to cover all of these topics, okay? Ooh la la, serious topics mostly, yes. I deemed that when John is here, we should do serious topics to put him on the spot.
Hey, the thing is, all these news I've actually already mostly talked about or covered on our radio. So I'm very confident at being able to give you guys insight. And to give you guys a sneak peek, because David kindly told me a little bit in advance.
Oh my gosh, not again.
All the memos that I have brought split into sections on which news. Not all news. Some of them I just want to add opinions. Some of them I want to add like extra facts and maybe other cases that are similar to this. So
did you actually type those, or are those ChatGPT generated?
No, so these are all from either articles that I have also linked in case people find that, you know, if people want to check my credibility, I'm more than happy to. I always have sources, as well as other things that I've also maybe already covered on my channel as well, which are very similar cases to what we might talk about.
Okay, great. I'm so thankful that you prepared so much. Well, yeah, John did his homework while John is prepared as usual. Yes, and Doll Baby, thank you for the 5. Woohoo, John. And for sure, I'm gonna buy him a nice lunch after this, so no worries about that. Yeah, so I think we've done our little update. We can munch on during the stream, but before we go on, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? So today, just borrow me 1 minute of your time, because oopsie. Yes, because today I want to introduce you a new brand in our shop, biroso.net, where you can get authentic Korean products. Right now we have temporary suspension of delivery because of FedEx issues, but at the moment we have Demure Hanbok by Hihe, which is in pre-order, so you can look here. And it's refined and versatile daily hanbok. So if you want to try a new kind of style, it's not that, like, it doesn't look that off, right? Like, it's a hanbok. It's inspired in hanbok style, but it does look like an ordinary shirt after all. And yeah, it's very unique. It's very cute. We have 19 days of the pre-sale, so go check it out. There's like a night letter set and there's a fireworks set. So they're both different. I think you get the skirt at the same time. So it's a very, decent looking, pair of clothes over here. So this is the new brand we are collaborating with. And it's really, really cute, right? Like, oh, I think I like the model too. But anyways,
I was gonna say, yeah. I was like, wow, she's really cute.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. That's probably why she's a model. So yeah, you can see the refined beauty of hanbok over here. So if you ever want to try a hanbok, but if you think it's too flashy, or if you think it's too like Korean and it's weird to wear on a daily basis or in your own country, you might as well try this. Like, it looks like a comfortable set of clothes you can wear in your neighborhood or at your house, and it has all the inspiration from the traditional hanbok. And as I said, if you just want to wear the top, nobody will actually think it's like a hanbok inspired cloth, right?
It's very modern, very elegant, and it was, like you said, it has all the aspects of it, but it's also not too it's not over the top to a point where you'll feel uncomfortable to wear it day to day. Okay, she is also very pretty as well.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked right now, but as you can see, we have like the ribbons here, which are like a signature of hanbok. So go check this out, guys. Yeah, like you can see all the detailed explanations on what it's inspired by, the colors, designs. It has a very wide fit, so that it accommodates a lot of sizes. So it looks very elegant, right? It looks something like you could get out from COS, which is one of my favorite brands. Yeah, so go check it out, guys. We have a lot of information here: size, waist tie, reversible skirt, fabric, and all that, and these beautiful colors over here.
Is this specifically, do you know if they're gonna be, because the shirt kind of looks like, the button up shirt kind of looks like they could in the future come with like a male like for men as well, but this is specifically for women.
Yes, at the moment this is specifically for women, but as you said, it could be in a male version too. I will actually suggest that to the owner, but
it's really nice.
And as you can see, you can also put on pendants or charms like this on top of it. The norige, we actually sell noriges on our store as well, so go check it out. The skirt and shirt are pretty, says MG. Appreciate that. It looks good, but I already made my purchases for a while. No problem. I appreciate you buying anything on the site. I do like the shirt, says Chamber, so go check this one out. And also, I actually have, we have a lot of new brands today. So
okay, it seems like every time I come, you have new brands, which is exciting.
Because we're working very hard, yeah. So this is a brand, actually this is a craftsman's name, and it's called Ohe. Her name is Ohezon. She actually visited the studio to actually hand deliver these. But you can see that these are lotus candle holders, and they're made by handmade ceramic, and they're very, very unique, and they have like this subtle color going on, and I will show you in real life in a moment on how these look. So yeah, they're Korean poppy patterns over here, and handcraft made in 4 colors. So you can put in little candles inside. Oh, this is an incense holder, so you can put in incense here. I know that a lot of people might not be familiar with incense, so that's why we have the candle holder over here, and I just have it right behind me. Where'd it go? Oh, where'd it go? Oh, could you hand me the bag over there, please? Yes, thank you. So pretty, right? So, yeah. Ooh, so first of all, we have the incense holders. Yes, so this is the poppy patterns. You can put an incense in the little hole in the middle, so very, very delicate craftsmanship over here. It's very lightweight too, so and don't worry about the shipping, because we always have double air pocket package, so no worries about like getting fragile products broken. And this is the lotus candle holder, so I know a lot of you guys use candles, so this is actually pretty good for like a Western household, I would say. So look at these, very, very minimalistic and shiny, glossy. And I personally like the blue one over here with the little
very subtle.
Yeah, very subtle blue. Yeah, so it's like a scent blooming from a lotus. So actually, we have a candle here, and let's make our mood a little bit better by putting real candles inside like this. Perfectly fits, right? Yeah, I just put a candle over here. And here's a lighter, so my mom said not to play with fire, but I actually don't smoke, so. Ah, 뜨거워! Can you do it for me?
You do it with your this finger.
Oh, did you smoke before?
No, I worked at a bar. So I worked at a bar for several years, and I think that's a great centerpiece, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not too big to a point it will take up a lot of space, but also so subtle enough where it will enhance other cocktails or other like dishes on the table while also looking very pretty. So
yes,
no, I think it's a great centerpiece or even like decoration for like interior design.
Yeah, thank you. So go check it out, guys. The candle perfectly fits, and we will have a nice pleasant smell for today's live. Yeah, so let's put that over here. And actually, let's keep that on for a while because I like the smell of candles burning. Yes. Tea candles. Romantic time with John. Get it, David. Yes.
I was like,
oh, do you remember last time?
Yes, which is why I'm not bringing anything up. I'm just trying
to... I don't have pepero. Oh!
No.
We have something even better.
Oh, come on.
We have something even better.
I like it. Anyway,
okay.
Don't we have more?
No. So thank you for your time, everybody. And let's first move on to the news.
But before we do, I did want to tell you about an interesting news. If you search it up, you can find it as well. But you probably already know. There's an article, the Seoul government recently announced that people should say, Hangang River instead of Hangang, like Han River. And a lot of people sent it to me saying it was the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to talk about that? Yeah, that could be our first
It's a very light topic, I think. Yeah, because the government is like, hey, you should call it Hangang River. If you're gonna call it certain like cities or districts, you should call it by its Romanized Korean and then add the descriptive, location or temple or whatever it is.
Right. So, just to answer your question, I'm sorry, but the candles are not included, just to clarify. But as John said, wow, you're bringing your own topics. That's great. So, basically, the Han River, like, even I say Han River because, like, that makes sense, right? Like, basically, the river that just intersects, like, Seoul, basically splits it into half, is called Hangang in Korean. Yes. And Han is the name, and then Gang means river. So normally, if you translate it into English, it would be Han River. But then the Seoul city government suddenly came up with this idea that we should call it the Hangang River, so to preserve its like actual name, but also like not confuse foreigners that it's a river. I don't know the background. So we're now officially calling it Hangang River.
But the interesting thing is, we both worked in radio.
Yeah.
And at least, we, especially in the news sector, we are enforced to say this from the get-go. We've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
That, like, if you want to say, for example, if I want to say, like, Gangwon-do, it won't be Gangwon district, it will be Gangwon-do district.
Yeah.
Or Gangwon-do province district. Yeah. Or if I want to say, for example, Gangneung-si, then I would have to say Gangneung-si city.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I've always kind of known.
It's weird.
I also understand why people disagree with it because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I think it confuses other people as well, especially foreigners too. So in a sense, for us, it feels like if we were to say Hangang River in Korean, it's Hangang-gang.
Yeah.
We're saying the gang again. And then what's even weird for me is that in Korean textbooks, like in Korean class, 국어 class, we usually, this was even in like our CSATs, like it's like never make same meaning words come together, especially if it's like Korean and Chinese. So the most widespread, well-known example is 역전 up.
Right.
Yeah, we always learn that. So it's like in front of, 역 means station, 전 in Chinese character means in front of, and the up means in front of too.
Yeah.
But for some reason in like the old eras, a lot of our parent generations or whatever use that word because I guess it sticks with their mouth. But the Korean textbook always says do not use those two same words together. It's like in front of the station at the same time. Yeah. So like I don't know why that's a principle, but for the Hangang River, they're making it like double. I don't know, but what's your opinion about it again? You thought it was silly? Yeah.
The reason the Seoul City government is announced this is because they want foreigners specifically to use the Korean romanized word. So if you come to Korea, you can just tell people, oh, where's Hangang? Technically, that's what like they want to teach foreigners and internationally more Korean words. But I also believe I understand where the government is coming from, but also I'm also on the side where it's like then people could get confused. But if you teach people that Kang actually means river, then you could actually be teaching them more of understanding the language itself. That Han is different. Like Han Kang means the Kang actually means river, which means if any other river you want to name in Korea, then you can just add Kang to at the end of it, which is teaching more of the language itself rather than the wording itself.
Okay. I can see pros and cons for it, but I still think, it's a little bit unnecessary. Yeah. Anyways, that's my personal opinion. And Doll Baby, thank you for the $10. Let's get it, John. Yes, let's. I think she's referring to Let's Get It, John.
Please don't.
Okay.
But it's interesting. I still don't know why, but I'm still reading it as Dolly Baby. So I'm gonna call her Dolly Baby. Okay. It just fits to me.
Okay.
But yeah, that's news that you did not have planned. That I just kind of wanted to bring, light topic before we get into more of the serious ones.
Okay. I am very sorry about the sound today. I don't know what the issue is, but hopefully this might make it a little bit better. Like putting it close to us. I don't know. Like I'm sorry, guys, but we can't. Like, for some reason, it's the same mic, it's the same day, it's the same place, but, yeah, the mic is not delivering full sound today. But anyways, thank you, John, for bringing an interesting topic to us today. That was a nice appetizer, in fact.
Before we get into the serious stuff.
Yes, so let's get through all the salads first. So this is an interesting one too. So South Korea sees the second highest immigration surge in the OECD countries. OECD is basically like developed countries. So an immigration of a permanent type to South Korea jumped by 50.9% last year, the second biggest surge among the 38 member countries in the organization for OECD countries. And report, it says in a report called the International Migration Outlook 2024, a record 6.5 million people moved to 38 countries that make up the membership of the OECD last year, and that was up 10% from 2022. United States was obviously at the top destination country, adding 1.18 million lawful permanent residents, followed by the UK, Germany, and Canada. I would like to move to any of those countries listed over there. I want my green card, please. But South Korea also, to be proud, saw 87,100 long-term permanent type immigrants settle here in 2023, up from 57,800. So it's a 50.9% jump, according to the report. And that surge was second to the UK. Honestly, though, why are you guys moving to the UK? I don't know what's so good about the UK, but from what I hear from people that are living in the UK, they're always like, "Oh my God, London is hell."
Bad.
Yeah, whatever.
Horrible, yeah.
But yes, this is we're seeing a surge, and I might have mistaken this title when I was like, what do you call it? Like putting it in the intro. Like I saw this as South Koreans exiting the country the most, and I know for a fact that is
not the case.
That is the case.
Oh, well,
nowadays.
that is the case, but this article is talking about the foreigners coming long-term stay into Korea.
Right,
yes.
so let me just correct that before we go on. Jazzy J, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you, pizza. Hello from Aurora CO. Hope you are doing well. I hope bye to MHJ cult. Thank you. What is Aurora CO? Oh, that might be like a
area?
Colorado, maybe. Yeah. Okay, thank you. But anyways, what do you think about this? Have you noticed the actual influx of immigrants.
So I have, and I think if you live in Korea, even in the past 5 years, I've been in Korea for 7 years now.
Yeah.
Since since I came after high school, and you can definitely tell that there's a lot more long-term residence people here.
Yep.
You can also tell that you can tell by the fact that you meet a certain foreigner, and they're just like you see a lot more fluent English speakers.
Yeah, yeah.
So this got me thinking. Okay, first I do want to ask, what do you think about this? Do you also feel this within like you living in Korea?
I definitely, yeah, like even my parents, when I'm just talking with them casually in the car, they're like, why are there so many foreigners nowadays? Like compared to a decade ago, I feel like everyone's like a foreigner, you know? Like we're seeing more and more non-Korean people. And this was just a recent conversation with my parents when I was in the car with them. My dad was like, nowadays in Busan, like you can see like 1 out of like 5 people, not that's an exaggeration, but 1 out of 10 people are actually like foreigners. And I don't know if they're tourists or not, but we saw the specific foreigner we were talking about in a residential area. So yeah, definitely I do think there's like a lot of immigration happening, and I feel like on the global scale as well, with the spread of K culture and everything like K-pop and K food and lifestyle, I feel like there is like a good reputation going on about Korea. Like it's safe, it's convenient to live in. Like it's just flashy. It's very fun. So I feel like there's a whole wide sentiment going on around the world about Korea. Yeah.
And like you said, even if you go to rural areas, even places like maybe like Cheonan, Chuncheon. Okay, so Chuncheonshi City, sorry, but you see a lot more foreigners than before, and sometimes if you talk to them, which Drunk John sometimes does, it's like I realize that they live here, they live here full time, and it's really incredible to see. So this got me thinking, right? So a lot of people live in Korea, and when you live in a certain country, that means you have to work. Most likely, you're working in that country, right? So that my train of thought went, how many people or how many companies are open to foreigners living here? So I did a bit of digging, and this is when I get into my notes. So I did a bit of digging, and recently an article by Saramin, a job searching platform, was released last Thursday actually, on 557 companies, and they found that 73.4%, so roughly around 3 out of 4 companies expressed that they are willing to employ foreigners as workers, and of those 44.7, so roughly 45-50%, reported that they have already previously hired foreigners as well.
Okay, that's surprising.
And the reason for this was primarily 60% cited that it is due to the lack of Korean applicants, while 27.1% of people of the companies said that it is because foreign employees were more diligent than Koreans and are willing to stay at the company for longer. Expressing that Koreans would often stay there for several years and will try to find other opportunities by getting high pay at different companies, while foreigners are more loyal in the sense that they will stay at the company for longer.
That is true, because the EG culture, that means like moving your company, hopping around to like inflate your salary and stuff. That's a really popular, very common culture around my friends as well too.
Yeah.
Like every single moment they're looking at like the job sites like LinkedIn or whatever to find a new job. Because obviously if you go to a new job, you can negotiate the salary, and most times it goes up at least like a little bit of percentage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I never knew there were so many like companies willing and actually hiring that much foreigners. Yeah.
And there's been recently a lot of conversation around foreigners working in Korea as well. And you might think, okay, a lot of these companies maybe are startups, maybe are like maybe a lot of these companies are like 외국계, meaning they're international companies, they're global companies. But interestingly enough, there was a case recently that made me realize, it's actually the general public of Korea, because the Ministry of Employment and Labor recently announced that they are going through evaluating proposals to the Seoul Metropolitan Government to expand the E9 visa eligibility to allow foreign workers to drive certain bus routes in the city. So
bus routes.
so they're gonna let foreigners be
Bus
the bus
drivers.
drivers, a lot of the photos and a lot of the kind of reports are kind of specifically talking about like 마을 버스 and where it's not as high in like kind of stressful environments where you won't have to like kind of always interact with a lot of people as much. But the fact that they are still willing to open their E9 visas into even bus drivers, I think that shows that Korea has a lot of foreigners coming in, and the idea that foreigners are just here as tourists, these kind of negative stigmas that Korea had rooted are changing rapidly with more people coming into contact with foreigners day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that specific case about like neighborhood bus drivers, that's very interesting because usually these aren't very big buses. They have a capacity of like, I guess, like 10 people in one bus. They're little mini buses. And usually most of the cases, the bus drivers are very old 할아버지s. And I think like, because honestly, like being the bus driver for like these little neighborhood buses, they're not like a very flashy job that a lot of young Korean people would want. Nowadays, there's a very like big tendency of young Koreans to like just prefer office jobs. They don't want to do manual labor or construction work or anything. So I feel like there's a big demand for those jobs from foreigners that are coming into Korea, because they would honestly like whatever kind of job.
Exactly.
As long as it just makes them stay here, like ensures them to stay here. So yeah, I guess that's like a way of dealing with, kind of jobs that Koreans don't want, but like foreigners want. So it's like everyone's happy. We have a population declining as well, so that's a good thing too. So anyways, yeah, that's interesting.
And also it's, the foreigners that work at these these jobs, they will get all the benefits as in like insurance and stuff, something that a lot of people could, a lot of jobs maybe in certain factories, maybe certain like illegal kind of environments where they might not receive all the health benefits. And these are government funded, so they will also be able to get it. So hopefully we'll see some better more talks, I think, around foreigners working here long term, and more like less discrimination and more opportunities for them to have a healthier environment outside.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Like I actually hope that is the case from now on. And a question before I read the super chats: would you personally want to immigrate to Korea? Let me know in the chat, yes or no, and reason why maybe. And in the meantime, Dolly Babies, thank you for another $10. You can call me Dolly Baby. You got permission now.
Thank you. And also, last time I was here, she said she liked it. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying, gotta please the fans.
Okay.
Sorry, but thank you for the donation. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dolly Baby. Katie Girl, thank you for the 10. Hi, David. I'm in Busan now. What is something I must do, see, as well as a food item to try? Okay, if you're in Busan, definitely try 돼지국밥.
Yeah.
That is pig broth soup. I would say there's actually pork inside as well, but there might be a little bit of a stingy smell to it because of the rawness of the pork. But it is a Busan delicacy, and there's also something called nakgopse, which is like small octopus, pig intestine, and small shrimp. They're all mixed together in like a red, what do you call it? Let me just show
Marinated sauce.
Yeah, and it's one of the delicacies there too. You can get it in Seoul, but like it never beats what you can get in actually Busan. So
it's like stir fried. It's spicy. It has all the seafood.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. Like you can get all these ingredients at once. You can put rice on top and then like stir it up and eat it. I really love it, and I know how it might sound of like pig intestine and small octopus, but actually if you just try it, it's really good. The intestines really have that like grease, making it like very savory. And I was very reluctant towards that ingredient too in the past, but now I just love it. Yeah. So if you are willing, or if you're up to a challenge, I would really recommend nakgopse. And for places to go, I would say if the weather is good, I mean, of course you're going to go to Gwangalli, Haeundae Beach, like those are must go places. But if you have the time, please check out a temple called Yonggungsa. Yonggungsa, and it's like I guess like 40 minutes away from the main city of Busan, but
Oh wow.
this is amazing. This is an amazing place. It's a seashore temple. So it's right next to the sea, like the ocean, but it's like a Buddhist temple, and it's one of the most beautiful Buddhist temples I've ever seen. So there's a lot of tourists here, so please go check it out if you have time. I will try to type it in English. 용궁사 영어로. I do not know the spelling in English, but it is Yonggungsa Temple, Haedong Yonggungsa Temple. So yeah, I'll put in the link for you guys, so you guys can check it out as well. And it's just an amazing temple, so I really recommend this place. And yeah, so thank you for the $10. Yep, and I'll put it in the chat. There you go. That's the link over there. Have you been to this place?
No, I've never heard of it, but it looks great, honestly.
Really?
No, yeah.
Wow, you're missing out.
I haven't been to Busan often. I would say the one place that I would say is great is there's a thing called Arte Museum. There's one in Jeju, there's one in Gangneung as well. But the one in Busan actually opened up this year. So I think it's a great idea. It's very new, and it's very like they use projection mappings. So they use projectors to make a digital art on the walls and ceilings. There's an exhibition, and you go there. It's very popular amongst the younger generation because you go there and you can get great like profile worthy photos. And yeah, it opened up this year, so it's relatively new. And yeah, I think it'll be something fun that you can also do in Busan as well.
Great. Love the recommendations. And for the question we asked before, Simpleton Cross says, I love to visit, come for maybe 6 months to a year, but I miss my home too much. Yeah, that's that's a problem for a lot of my friends as well.
Yeah.
They love the country here, but after a while they get homesick. And I think that's a natural thing. Even if any place is very good and marvelous, like at the end you want your, friends, families, close friends, family around you, right?
Yeah.
So, Channy Love, I would totally love to move to the SK. I want to learn about the culture of the country. I feel like the best way to experience it is to live there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Zofia, thank you for this $7 pizza. Would love to move back. Oh, you were an ESL teacher for 3 years, but I'm a nurse and would never be able to work as one. There. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, if you're willing to move back, I guess that's a good thing. And also nowadays they're opening up more foreigner jobs, and like as John said, like more and more visas are being applied. So maybe in the future, keep subscribed to KPC and we'll update you about like the openings and all that. So yeah,
there are certain places that I know, not like the major hospitals, but some of the places actually hire foreigners because they have an influx of foreign tourists that need English or especially Chinese. So there are some people here that are from China. They can't really speak Korean, but they can do a little bit. So basically they specifically help tourists at hospitals. And I know some of the cases, but I know how hard it is to probably find those jobs. It's probably super competitive. So yeah, but hopefully you can come back sometime soon as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm glad that you had a nice experience, assumably, in Korea. Speaking of, though, whether Korea is a nice place to live or not, as far as it goes for education, should schools aim for phone-free learning environment? So currently, the debate on whether to ban smartphones in the classroom continues to rage worldwide. South Korea is no exception, as it looks to address an epidemic of smartphone addiction among young students. And the People Power Party congressman proposed a bill to limit smartphone use in schools. In October, the National Human Rights Commission reversed its long-standing position, ruling that schools confiscating students' phones is not a violation of their rights. So proponents view this as a preventive measure to curb smartphone addiction and improve learning, while opponents suggest alternative solutions to protect students' digital freedoms. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think, John? Should they forbid phones? So this bill is actually in progress right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Smartphones, should they ban phones in classrooms is an ongoing topic, right? It's been going since like I was, I think, in middle school or something, because it's one of the most common debated questions, and I don't know. I'm always conflicted. I think it shouldn't be banned, but I do believe that it should be strongly restricted, as there's been numerous reports showing that smartphones or extended periods of time on your smartphones at a young age will in fact impact your cognitive abilities as well. So I do believe that it should be restricted in a certain way. How to do it, how long to do it, I think it is always debated. But I think maybe it's because the way that I grew up, because at our schools as well, you were allowed to bring phones, but before class you're supposed to hand it in.
Yeah.
And then after class you can get it back.
I think that's a proper measure, you know.
Yeah.
Like you need the phones for emergency purposes.
situations.
Like, you know, you can call your parents or your friends during while you're like going back and forth to school if like someone tries to abduct you or whatever.
Right.
You know, you need phones. They have a functional purpose, and also it could be good in some certain ways. Like if you're studying alone in the library and you need to look something up on Google, you know, it could be very beneficial. But during class though, if you're trying to be attentive towards the teacher and the class and what you're studying, you need less distractions. And honestly, phones are a huge distraction for especially kids that don't have the self-control or willpower to like hold themselves back on watching like doom scrolling on TikTok and stuff like that.
Right.
So I definitely agree. Like, and there were reports that most of the Gen Z students in America right now have ADHD, and the main cause is like TikTok and short form smartphone addiction. So I stand by, you know, like banning them as well. But I don't know. At the end of the day, maybe we're boomers, and that's why. You're not a boomer, right? But
I also think it's the similar situation as everything else. That if you're, I'm sure some of you guys are parents, or a lot of us probably have experiences with it. If your parent tells you to don't do something,
yeah,
you're most likely gonna do it more.
right.
For example, this is something that I do one day want to get into is pornography and sex is very taboo in Korea, and pornography is banned in Korea. But at the same time, it is very much kind of like a very open topic, and it's like a lot of celebrities have also talked about how they have watched porn and stuff.
Yeah.
And how technically it is illegal, but how everybody still kind of does it. I think if you ban phones at schools, people are still going to find ways. You know, students are going to find ways. So I think having an equal balance is always important. And so I did a bit of digging. There wasn't actually any Korean article, a survey. So I wanted to know, I know we have a lot of listeners, but we're very, we have a certain demographic of people who comment. So I wanted to see, what the general was. So there was an article written in America. And according to a survey conducted by study.com on more than 1,100 middle school and high school teachers across the country, a lot of 76% of respondents, so majority, a large majority, said that they should restrict phones. And additionally, 70% said that they should ban it, saying that it is for their learning purposes.
So restrict to 70% and ban entirely.
So ban is roughly around 70%, and restricting is 76% of the respondents. And the main reason.
Oh, okay. So
it's a multi-choice.
Oh, okay,
It's a
okay.
multi-choice, obviously, a survey.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, these are all teachers, right? These are a lot of teachers, but these are teachers, and they could be biased. So I found another article where it was conducted by Pew Research Center, an American public opinion polling firm. And it found that on the 22nd last month, that on 5,000 American adults, that 68% of American adults responded that they should use of cell phones during classrooms or in middle school and high school should be prohibited, while 45% of respondents said it should be strongly prohibited or banned. Only 24% said there is no need to ban smartphones, and 8% said, I don't know. So yeah, so majority of the 68% said they should restrict, 45% said they should ban it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I guess everything's leaning towards getting it banned or like restricted at least.
But this was surprising because I know in America when this topic comes up,
yeah,
it's very much of like there are certain there's been cases of school shootings in America.
Yeah.
In Korea, there's not a lot of situations where students will be in that much harm, I would say, right? There'll be bullyings and there'll be other things,
Yeah.
but nothing like school shootings. So I thought in Korea, maybe it will be not as, or it will be more strict. I thought America, maybe they will be more lenient on having phones in classrooms, but
Yeah, the
these surveys
results are
shows-
pretty similar.
yeah, these
Right.
surveys show that no, even in America, and it seems like most places, that people are more on the side of that people should not be allowed.
Yeah, and Simpleton Crawl says we were never allowed to use our phone in class when I was in school.
Same?
Yeah, same here. Chandler says I survived growing up without phones in the classroom. Same, but I do admit that we sneak them in, and then we used it as for like texting and fiddling around and all that. But we didn't have I didn't have smartphones back then, so it wasn't that much of a distraction. All you could do was like play shitty games or maybe just text with like Sumyo or whatever. But that's about it. Anyways, yeah, I think everybody in the chats agrees that it should at least be like on restrictive measures.
Right.
So yeah, I think there will be. I don't think there would be any backlash. Like it's the adults that are making the laws, right? Unfortunately, I mean, I do think we need to listen from the students' points of view, but I think nationwide, according to your surveys and the whole sentiment is going towards bans. So I think there might be like more restrictive measures in the future. So yeah. I guess, yeah, that's about it.
It's a debated question, but if you ask the general, it seems like everybody's kind of leaning towards, it should be restricted at least.
Right. So, on to the next topic. It's a little bit of a more serious one, but a very important one to be addressed. So, Telegram vows to delete deepfakes targeting Koreans. About time, Telegram has been well known to not cooperate with any kind of country organization with its privacy measures and all that. So that's why a lot of politicians, celebrities, and high-profile people actually use Telegram because of its security policies and all that. But anyways, because the deepfake problem is becoming huge in South Korea right now, Telegram has vowed to delete sexually explicit deepfake content targeting Korean people as the Dubai-based messaging company moves to bolster cooperation with the Korean government. And speaking to the Korea Times recently, the Telegram spokesperson said a zero-tolerance policy against any illegal content, and said that it would join the Korean government's efforts to protect victims. Telegram has a zero-tolerance policy for illegal pornography, and moderators remove it whenever it is discovered. So if you've discovered any such content in your reporting, I would greatly appreciate if you share links with me so the moderators can investigate. So as I said, Telegram has been a preferred platform for criminals and others engaged in illicit activities, spreading harmful content under the protection of the company's end-to-end encryption and privacy-first policy. So I think this is a big step, and it should have been done in the first place. And I guess it's still like report-based, but that is a start. Like I guess they can't, filter out everything AI based or whatever. I for a fact know that certain apps, like especially in China, like a lot of my China like Korean friends residing in China say like do not criticize the government, or like do not type in specific names in the chat because they're all like looking into your chats and stuff. I guess it's not to that level, but maybe it should be for like deepfakes and like illegal stuff. But anyways, it's a very surprising feat to see like Telegram actually folding down one step from its like ironclad like security policy and now cooperating with the Korean government. So this is a good direction in my opinion.
So Telegram is obviously a global, it's not a Korean specific company, and they hold themselves that they're very they have a lot of privacy and encrypted stuff, so you can't be hacked. But also the thing is, Telegram has a feature where how on KakaoTalk or Instagram and stuff, if you message somebody, on Instagram you can unsend the message, but on Kakao, after a certain period you can't unsend the message, right? For Telegram, even in group chats, if you are the admin or if it's just one-on-one chats and I delete the group chat, then it will delete it on your account, on your profile as well.
Right.
So it has the option of being like you being able to send something
Mm-hmm.
for them to download it and for you to delete all traces on both ends.
Right, right,
Which
right.
is why a lot of these illegal or deepfakes and later these were on Telegram. And I believe that Telegram first got the public's attention due to the Mbongbang, the
Anthrum, yeah.
Anthrum. And do you want to tell us a little bit? I did get some facts down, but do you want to
I
tell
mean,
us?
everybody knows what the Anthrum is. Like, there were a group of like, perverted Korean men that were circulating illegal, I guess, like revenge porn or like just filmings of their partners or just like bullying and gaslighting young naive schoolgirls to enter the room and send nude pics and all that kind of stuff. So it was like a criminal ring,
Right.
and there was like a head there, and he got caught,
Yes.
fortunately. But yeah, so even to this day, they say there are branches of the Anthrum still on Telegram, and it's not easy to eradicate. But yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and this was popular between 2018 and 2020. And yeah, like you said, Moon Hyung-wook, and I love saying these criminals' names because the more people know it, the better.
Yeah.
Moon Hyung-woo is the guy to know, and he's the criminal who was kind of like the leader of the group, and he's been arrested. And very similar copycat chats have been made, and the number of confirmed victims is at least 103, including 26 minors. And yeah, they've also like sold, and there's apparently around 260,000 members that were in the group chats or that were in very similar chats at the time. So yeah, it was a very big thing. 260,000 people is there's a lot of people, but a lot of these people were watching, selling, or even distributing illegal or horrible things.
Wait, so like, what was Chojubin caught for?
So I think Chojubin was caught for a very similar copycat group chat, and there was another one. And yes, there is a Wikipedia on this. You guys can go search it up.
Okay.
It's very in detailed, but yeah, there are.
Because I thought Chojubin was like the main head.
I think there was several of them, but on the Wikipedia, the one that I searched up, his name came up first.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because like everybody knows this guy,
Yeah,
right? Everybody's seen this guy, and he's very famous. So he's been accused for like all these crimes, and he's now in jail for 40 years. I think he's got a 40-year sentence. So like this is the whole nth room and professor room case, and the person you said, Moon Hyung-wook, over here is the one who made the nth room, and Chojubin was the one that operated the professor room. So there are multiple rooms, and all of these dudes were all associated. So yeah, they all went to jail and they all got caught. So yeah, and there's actually a whole documentary about this on I think Netflix. So go check it out if you want to. But it's kind of if you don't have like the power to watch that kind of stuff, it might be a little bit.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like you said, because this is what kind of blew up, and through this is what people realize. Oh, this is what Telegram is. I think Telegram has a very bad image, and which is why a lot of people during that time also realized that you can get away with a lot of illegal stuff for a long time, which is why a lot of deepfakes and stuff, a lot of other criminals also use Telegrams. If you listen to a lot of like Chokpok in Korea, which is like gangs, they all use Telegram as well. So yeah, I'm glad that at least now they're taking steps into at least cracking down on some of these criminals, so that at least victims can be hopefully be protected in a certain way.
And for a while, I think even now there were sayings in Korea among women mostly saying that check if your boyfriend has Telegram on his phone, because probably like a 50%, like more than half possibility that he's onto some weird shit. So like I had Telegram when I was like in college because I was massive into crypto and the
Right.
cryptocurrency. Community is huge in Telegram.
Mm.
So that was my reason. But then when I heard that, I deleted it immediately because I didn't want to be seen as like an nth room perpetrator or
Yeah.
anything. But there are certain like circles, especially like crypto or like as I said, politicians or celebrities using it for security purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there because of the whole nth room case, like there's now a huge stigma
Mm.
upon the app. Yeah.
For me, in 2018, so before like this all issue went down, I was working at Sunorebang, yes, and I can say it's a very major karaoke franchise in Korea. And when I lived and I worked there, everybody was supposed to download Telegram, and you basically send in photos to the group chat of like several hundred people on when you check in and when you check out, clock
Mm-hmm.
in and clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, and then after I quit the job, obviously I deleted it because that was the only purpose I had that for. And then several years later, this happens, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh
yeah,
wow!"
exactly. Same,
Wait,
same.
I had the app like a long time ago,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I was like, why did that company use it for that purpose? I was like, but yeah, because you can use Kakao and stuff, other stuff, but yeah, they specifically made us download it, but yeah, that's the only experiences of me being on it.
Like, okay, this is off topic though. Like, let's ramble for a bit. But there's a lot of things nowadays girlfriends check upon their like boyfriend partners because apparently there's like a massive like distrust between the genders, and it's like a little bit more heavy sided on the women's side towards the men because like men usually do shady behavior. So as I said, one of the examples is checking whether your boyfriend has Telegram or not on his phone. Probably he's onto some weird shit. That's one thing. But another thing is like, oh, the most popular one is nowadays checking his search icon on Instagram and see what pops up, what the
Right.
algorithm recommends. So like normally guys will have like bikini pics
Yeah.
and like sexy models and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing. But another thing is if you are an iPhone user, I don't know if it applies for Android. I just switched very recently. But if you're an iPhone user, apparently there's no way to delete completely delete your App Store download history.
Oh, okay.
So like if you've like so girls
Oh,
go on to the App Store and check if they've downloaded Tinder or any kind of dating app, which means like in Korean stereotypes that he's like a fuckboy or
right.
something like that. He's playing dirty out there. He's like fucking around. So like apparently on App Store, if you've downloaded like that app once, it's only like, do you want to download again? Like that icon
Right, right.
remains, but you can't like delete the history. So a lot of people actually go to the App Store developer and say, can you delete my App Store history?
Wow.
So yeah, those kind of things are going around.
I did recently hear an article this week where Instagram is planning to release, or has, or is planning to release a feature where you can reset your discovery
Oh, really?
section. So yeah, guys can just, so it'll be all random.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna do it now?
No, I'm just gonna check mine. Yeah. Anyways,
Well,
go
yeah,
on.
no, mine's probably not very good. But the thing is, I'm single, so
Yeah.
but yeah, it's most likely most guys. It's gonna be either like what they're into, like games,
Mm-hmm.
news, maybe like K-pop, maybe some people. But yeah, it's interesting. I did want to bring this up. It's 12:17 at the moment. Wow, wow, David. I didn't know you were into those stuff.
Don't make it
Oh,
don't
wow,
make it
no
look weirder
way.
than it is.
I was just saying.
Oh.
But it's 12:17. You said we have to finish this by 12:30.
No. We have a little bit more time, but let's rush through a little bit. Okay, so going on to the entertainment news a little bit. I know you guys have been waiting for a while. So in the meantime, 435 people are watching, so please smash that like button. We only have 91. It's the least you can do to support the stream. And on to the entertainment section. I'm very excited for this personally because Blackpink's Rose is to drop a new single following the global success of Apatu. So Apatu has I have a hard time saying Apatu. Apartment. Apatu has blown up throughout the world. The collab with Bruno Mars. It's an amazing song. Honestly, I've overheard it. I've overplayed it. So now I'm not like personally listening to it. But anyways, Rose is going to release her new single "Number One Girl" on Friday. Her agency Black Label said. So "Number One Girl" will be included in Rose's upcoming first solo full-length album "Rosie," scheduled for December 6th. So that's in like 2 weeks. That's amazing. And the vocalist has contributed to the lyrics and composition of all the songs on the album, offering fans to a more personal glimpse into her artistry. So yeah, are you excited for this?
Yeah. The thing is,
she's Aussie, and
yeah, she was born in New Zealand as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The thing is,
oh wait, she's New Zealand.
she was born in New Zealand, raised in raised
Oh,
in Australia.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't know. She seems like a great person. You see her interviews. She was on Hot Ones recently.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the interview. She sounds so fun.
Yeah.
I recently met Ashley. Ashley, she used to have a host at Ador at the same time. She's
Ladies Code.
Ladies
Ashley.
Code.
Okay.
And also she's like a regular member on Dive Studios or other podcasts as well. But there's a clip of her on air calling Rose, like Blackpink Rose, just spontaneously.
Oh, wow.
She picks up and she's just, and you can tell that they're just really close. And Rose is just so cool. So I'm like, hey, good job. Like it's someone who's really.
So
nice.
was that a flex that you met Ashley?
I met her once yesterday.
So you just brought that up just to flex that I met Ashley the other day,
cool, though.
and then
I told her I was a huge fan.
I like stirring up shit. So like the fact that she called Rosie on stream, and then the fact that you met her are two independent facts. So were you flexing that you met Ashley?
It was a segue into the fact that they're close.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay. I'm just messing around with you.
Yeah, no, Ashley was cool though. I was like, oh, I told her I was a huge fan. I was like, yo, I'm a fan. But yeah, for somebody who's really down to earth, chill, for them to get successful, to get a lot of spotlight, I'm like, all wins.
Yeah. I personally like, my first bias in Blackpink was Jisoo all the way in the first beginning. But then I like Rose definitely grew as my bias over time because of her vocals and her talent and her personality. And, I just feel like, I'm not saying the other members are not, but like looking at her, like just over the years, I feel like she's like most genuine towards music. And that's why I feel like more, pull towards her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's great. She was also born in New Zealand, so she has a soft spot in my heart. So, yeah.
Yeah. So all the best for Rose. Really looking forward to her comeback. And in the meantime, if you want K-pop reactions for every month, you can go check out my Patreon where I do K-pop reaction compilations monthly. I usually do 10 to 12 of the hottest K-pop comebacks of that month. So the Rosie one will probably be in December, but I know that there's a lot of new comebacks. Recently there was a Jin one as well, and all these things. So patreon.com/KoreanPizzaClub, best way to support me. Go check it out. Exclusive podcast as well. Anyways, no love for Lisa. No, like I heard that Lisa's comeback is coming soon too. Yes, it's just that the Korean media is hyping Rose's comeback a little bit more because of the recent success of Apatu. And that's nothing to be sour about. It's not a competition. It's not a comparison or anything. It's just like Apatu was like globally very, very high in the charts. So yeah,
and arguably Lisa's probably the most richest person in the group. I went to Thailand last year. She has Thailand by the grip. Like she's everywhere. Her success is amazing. So yeah, no, we cannot say no love for her because she's amazing in her own ways.
Of course. And plus, Rose is a church girl. Yes,
true.
That fact too. I mean, I'm biased, so yeah. Anyway,
they used to go to church together. Apparently, Ashley and Rose.
You know a lot about them, don't you?
They actually talk about it on the podcast. On the call.
Okay.
It's on Ador Radio as well.
Okay. Do you have a secret crush on?
I met her once. But yeah.
I just like messing around. Okay, I subscribe to John's channel too. He does short news items. Shout out time.
Thank you. I make short clips called on my YouTube and Instagram. My Instagram's a little bit more popular, but it's still less than like 2,000 followers. And I make short, concise Korean news in English. That's always a little bit less than a minute and a half, and I make sure I cover several news so that I can that you guys can have enough information where it will be useful through your daily lives during like coffee chats and like lunch chats, but it's not too in detail, so you guys can have 2 or 3 news a day. And yeah, I have several. So this one I talked about 3 different ones, and yeah, just very interesting news that only I find interesting. So yeah, it's just totally biased. It's not what's popular. I won't be talking about rose and other stuff, but I'll talk about what I find interesting. So yeah, people ask me how do you pick your news? I'm like, I don't know. I just talk about what I want. If I don't want to talk about it,
Yeah, I can see that you're not very geared towards K-pop news and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
If it's very popular, I do love to talk about it, but it's oftentimes I don't really love talking about drama and things too much, just out of respect for the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just pinned his Instagram account on the pinned comment over there. So go check it out at ft.ajohn. And I always read it as FTA John. But anyways, he has his YouTube channel and Instagram as we showed on the screen. So go follow him for the latest updates and his takes on these news. So didn't know about his IG. Is it FTA John too? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that banana milk was crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to find out, go to John's channel and his Instagram. Okay. So nice to catch a live with David. Yes, Cindy Poole, welcome. Okay. So on to the next news. News. Oh, we have a lot of news.
A lot of news and not enough time.
Yeah, not enough time. So let's go through them real quick. So Seoul tops global best cost of living city ranking. That's interesting because to me, like, life is hell right now. Seoul is the most cost-effective city to live in globally according to the Compare the Market Australia. The company analyzed 11 different cost of living factors, including average fuel, electricity prices, average annual wage, and an unemployment rate. Public transport, home prices, rent, milk, bread, and cappuccino prices were also compared across 42 economically developed cities, and Seoul ranked first as the most cost-effective city to live in, with the lowest unemployment rate out of all 42 cities studied at 2.5%. The study noted that a combination of low housing and rent price increases since 2015 and cheap average electricity rates allowed Korea's capital to be at the top. That's very, very interesting. Following Seoul was Australia's Brisbane and Luxembourg City.
Did you say Brisbane?
Yeah. Brisbane. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Brisbane.
I was like,
Brisbane. Okay, I'm sorry. And then meanwhile, you try this.
Sorry, I got it. Yeah.
You try this one. I'm
I
turning
got
it
it.
back. Go.
No.
No, dude, try
Is
it.
that J silent? I don't know.
You go for it.
No, I'm not.
Try it.
A city in Iceland. Maybe
No. You gotta respect the name.
Reykjavik?
There's no fuck in there.
No, Vic.
Okay.
Reykjavik? No, sorry. Yeah.
Reykjavik.
Yeah.
Reykjavik.
No idea.
Of Iceland and Copenhagen of Denmark and Dublin of Ireland were cited as the least cost of living friendly cities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Those are all European countries, and technically European countries in general have the highest life satisfaction. So that's very interesting because I thought one thing I looked into when I saw this article was it was very money centric, obviously, like cost of living, finances, and whatever. But yeah, if you think about like life satisfaction and like depression, suicidal rate, and other things, I wonder if Korea still is ranked that high because obviously everybody struggles in every country, but if you take into like the mental aspect of people's lifestyle, the old poverty amongst the elders, drastic different age demographics, I wonder if Korea still ranks just as high.
Right. So this is basically just about the cost of living. Like, as we said, the little mundane things like the cappuccino prices and the electricity bills and all that. I guess this is a good thing, at least, because we have extraordinary housing prices and you said elder poverty and all that. So if we look into the macro side of things, I feel like, it would have, like, that would balance off the cost of the best cost of living. And I'm actually going to put out an essay video within the 2 days about like house prices in Korea. And apparently it's called the price, what do you call it? It's called the PIR. That basically means, I forgot the acronym, but it basically means without, spending a penny with your income, how much it would take to buy an average house in a country.
Oh, wow.
So
Sounds like a long
apparently
time.
in Korea, you have to save up 25.1 years in average, with the average salary to buy the average house in Seoul. So a normal person would have to save up 25 years, and in other countries like Tokyo, it's like 15 years, and London, it's like 14 years or something like that. But Korea has like a 10 plus more year there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I see this, right? Okay. In general, average people's annual wage is higher. Okay. I wonder how much more Korean people work, like, in general, work than other countries. Because Korea is very known for, like, you work 12 hours a day. Like, you work late into the night. And it's very common. So, like, yeah, I wonder, yes, they might get paid a lot, but I wonder how much time they're also spending and other factors such as, yeah, those as well.
Yes. So anyways, there might be a fallacy in this post, but it's good to know as a tourist, though, at least, right? You'll be having a cost efficient spending over here. But the funny comment I said here is, replace milk and bread with fruits, and the calculations, you'll have very different answers.
Right there, that person lives in Korea, honestly.
Yeah, I accidentally liked it. Did the people do the research not look at how much an apartment costs in Seoul, or even fruit? Everybody's just so triggered about
bad,
fruit.
yeah. The fruits in Korea, fruits and vegetables are extremely expensive. So,
Yeah. Is this the same Seoul I live in? For who? The royal family? There is no effing way. Yeah, so the public sentiment is very different, but stats wise, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so we're rushing with time. I'll actually just skip aespa. Like, just to let you guys know, aespa became an unstoppable force in K-pop, surpassing NewJeans and IVE. They're actually at the all-time high right now in terms of their career and reputation.
The one that, did the Coachella, right?
No, Coachella. I think, did aespa do Coachella? I think
Which
it
is
was Lis Seraphim who did.
Lis Seraphim, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think aespa.
No, that's
I'm glitching right now, but anyways, I just wanted to put this in to just acknowledge aespa is like at the forefront of, I think, as I said this a couple times before, but aespa is the definition of what K-pop is right now, because I feel like K-pop has been diluted a lot into like the pop sector. There's a lot of like conversions happening there, but aespa is the only group that I would say that has like the old time K-pop traits, very unique SM sound. They're not afraid to experiment. They're doing all the AI concepts, which everybody like ridiculed in the first place, but now it's actually pulling on, it's starting off. And they have great visuals, they have great talent, no lip sync.
Right.
I'm no shade, but yeah, like I just wanted to give a big shout out to aespa right now, because they're definitely at the top.
Because Lis Seraphim, aespa, NewJeans, IVE, they were kind of like, when they all came out, they all were kind of like, okay, who's the best out of them? Because they're all so great.
Yeah.
So it was like very neck and neck. But to see that aespa's now coming on top, or with obviously with data, that's congrats to them, and they work so hard for it. So yeah, all the success to them.
Yes, so we call it swemat, we call it metalcore, but foreigners and international fans call it aespacore. So they have their unique identity called aespacore, and I think that is just so valuable in the now diluted scene of K-pop nowadays. So yeah, I just wish they keep on pushing that, and I don't want them to disband or anything. They're now like these 선배님s of the K-pop scene, but like I just love every single one of them. I love Karina, I love Winter, I love Giselle, I love Ningning. Every one of them are so cute and hot. So yeah, okay, I'll stop drooling over here. But like nowadays, whenever a friend that doesn't know about K-pop asks me, like, can you introduce me to K-pop or something? Of course, I'll send them BTS, but also I will just casually add a link of like Supernova or Whiplash or any of their music videos, because it slaps. Have you seen any of their music videos? It is crazy. It's mind-blowing.
I haven't watched the music video in a long time, but you know, you can't avoid. I haven't watched the music video from start to finish in a long time.
Yeah.
But you always get clips of them bunch on social media, so it's kind of hard to avoid. But,
You gotta see the whole music video, bro. Like, that is freaking mind blowing. It's crazy. They got the best visual aesthetics in the world. Okay, on to the next one. I'm sorry. I'll stop fanboying. Okay, so this is a funny incident. Seoul Metro apologizes for derogatory online post calling Chinese passengers villains. Okay, so the controversial response post on the Seoul Metropolitan Government website says a crowd of Chinese people sometimes turn into noisy villains. So apparently, this metro worker put up an announcement saying that if more than two Chinese people are together, they are loud and they become noisy villains often.
So they use the word villain because in Korean culture we use the word villain, but in a very similar tone than how the Western, I think, understands it.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't undermine the fact that this is super racist, and how he or she, how the person who wrote it is. Yeah, this is the most stupidest thing, and this is coming into light, especially when right now there's protests going on in Seoul until early December, I believe. A lot of the subways here are gonna be either delayed or very much due to the protests. So, yeah, there's a lot of issues right now coming from Seoul Metropolitan Government, and this doesn't help them at all.
Yeah, and the reason this came up was because they were talking about whether the Chinese announcements in the subway, they're too loud, it's too noisy. So there were some complaints about that. And this was like in the middle of like explaining their reasoning towards the process and all that. But the funny thing is, like, the comments are like, well, not gonna argue with that, you know. So anyways,
they're Korean people, but that's also, I don't know,
the word, as you said, the word villain is just, you know, it's like an internet, I guess, slang for people that are like a nuisance or like, you know.
Yeah, but and I think it also goes the same for Koreans as well. If you see a lot of Korean people tourist overseas, it's any country. I think I have groups of like just friends from America or like Europe that come to Korea. And the guys can also get a bit loud if there are like two or three of them. So, yeah. I think for them to kind of pinpoint Chinese people is very offensive.
Yeah, this was a very offensive and wrong announcement, especially considering that the Seoul Metro is like a government-run and public facility. So, yeah, so this was like a mishap of the week. I just wanted to, introduce that. And okay, we have a lot of news, but no time. So, animals on wheels, why are pet strollers so popular in Korea? What do you think?
So I did actually a full show on this.
What?
So I brought in some of the important aspects of the show, but I don't even know if I want to go through it because it is
time constraint.
Yeah, due to time constraint. But
in a
to
nutshell,
give a little bit in a nutshell, G Market conducted a study, and basically they showed that 69% of sales from pet related stuff in the 5 months were extremely high, and their data also showed that 57% of all strollers are for dogs, meaning that dog strollers are more in demand than for babies, for real babies. And yeah, they did a whole deep dive on how much money they're making and stuff, and it's extremely interesting to see how Korea's not having babies, but also Korea is having a lot more dogs, with a lot of major hotels and resorts being more pet friendly, with recently Sona Resort and Kingston Resort allowing their dogs to even be able to eat in the buffet with people, which is actually currently against the law. But luckily those two hotels did recently get an exception called the Regulatory Sandbox Committee, from the Regulatory Sandbox Committee, where they have it for a temporary time. It's a pilot project where they will allow dogs to eat in facilities with people. For example, so if you go to a cafe in Korea and the owner has a dog with them, or if dogs are allowed to eat at the cafe, technically that is super illegal. But yeah, so they were allowed to get that permission. So yeah, it's not surprising that these strollers are also very popular as well.
Yeah, I thought this was common all over the world, but apparently it's like a Korean thing. So yeah, even my what do you call it, aunt does this. We see so many dogs. Oh, that looks like my aunt's dog. Even my like my relatives and everyone around me does this. So many pet strollers on the street, in the park, in the department stores, in indoor facilities like cafes and all of that. So yeah, it's a very unique phenomenon happening, and I thought it was universal, but
That's
Korean.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Shuang Daily is reusing the articles.
Yeah.
The survey conducted saying that Maltese is the most popular dog breed. That was ages ago. That was the article from ages ago. But yeah, not surprising. A lot of people like dogs, and Koreans say the main reason is because they're old, they can't walk,
Yeah.
but they still want to get fresh air and go on
Yeah.
walks. So
We just care about them like our
Yeah.
babies. Yeah.
more than babies
Yeah,
apparently.
it's
now.
better than putting them in cages and like eating
Yeah.
them, right? So I'm sorry.
Wow, that's I don't know.
That's a very, very bipolar example.
Comparison, yeah.
Comparison. Okay, bipolar, polarized. Yeah, polarized. Bipolar is like a medical condition, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm bad with my English. But anyways, that's because I'm probably rushing because of the time. I have something I need to submit at like a deadline at 2 p.m. So I'm rushing. I at least need one hour head start on that. So after this, can we get like pizza delivery food maybe?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, okay, today we have this is one of the main news that probably everyone is waiting for. So before we go on into it, please like the video. We have 464 people watching, but right now what's happening is the Labor Ministry dismissed Hanni's harassment case. So this was probably the most controversial and watched news for the last month, I guess, that where Hanni appeared in the National Assembly and filed an official complaint or addressed her her stance on the alleged bullying case within Hybe, and the case is now closed and it's dismissed. So the Ministry of Employment and Labor has ruled that allegations of workplace harassment involving Hanni, the Vietnamese Australian member of NewJeans, do not fall under labor law protections, as she is not classified as a worker under the Labor Standards Act. On Wednesday, the ministry announced the closure of a complaint filed last month by NewJeans fan base known as Bunnies, which alleged that Hanni was subjected to workplace harassment at Hybe's headquarters in Yongsan, Seoul in May. So technically, it wasn't like a complaint she actively filed. It was from the fans on behalf of her.
Yeah.
So let me clarify that. So Hanni cannot be considered as a worker under the Labor Standards Act, as the nature of her management contract does not reflect a subordinate employment relationship, the ministry stated. So I was very confused about that, and I did a little bit more digging on this to provide more context. And apparently, by the Labor Standards Act, you must be under an employer and subordinate relationship, but the content of the contract between Hanni and her agency is merely a relationship in which each party performs their obligations as equal parties. So it's not a employer-subordinate relationship. They have more like equal rights over there and obligations. So that's one of the reasonings. And also, Hanni is not subject to various systems such as company employment rules or internal regulations that apply to general employees, that there are no fixed working hours or locations, and that commuting times cannot be determined, that Hanni and her agency jointly bear the expenses necessary for entertainment activities. So there are a lot of reasoning behind that, contrary to the belief that everybody's saying, like, what is she other than a worker or a laborer then? So yeah, if you do a little bit more digging on the reasoning behind why this was dismissed like that, there's like profit sharing, there's business income tax, there's like no commute time set and no fixed working hours or location. So she doesn't fall under like the standard
Typical
labor laws.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, when it first came out and I saw the headline, my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, that's a little bit weird and that's a little bit unfortunate for her. But after seeing the reasoning, I'm like, okay, it's kind of reasonable. Like she earns a lot of money too. That doesn't justify it, but I guess because of the nature of her contract and her working conditions. Like there would be some debates on whether she would fall under like the standard labor standards act.
Yeah, because we both worked in the media, and a lot of the contracts that we sign, it prevents us from getting certain benefits that a lot of corporate or regular employees will get, such as certain insurance or maybe certain benefits, health benefits. But yeah, the situation is obviously extremely unfortunate for her. And it also kind of highlights the fact how even in the Korean law there is a lot of loophole. There's a lot of holes and a lot of gray areas that hasn't been addressed, and that just nobody has really talked about or even kind of thought about changing because it was never brought up. It's like it's an issue. We know it's an issue and it's going to be an issue, but no one's really addressed it. So we're just kind of like looking the other way until a situation like this happens to her. And then we're like, oh, actually the law currently states this, but everybody kind of already feels that the law is outdated in a certain way.
Yeah.
So for the fact that she wasn't protected under law, it makes sense logically. Whether it makes sense in the sense that is the law outdated, that I think is a debate. And hopefully with this case, I think it shines light and more discussions about this, and maybe we'll see like this labor law change in a certain way in the near future.
Right. So as a lot of people are saying in the comments too, artists are considered self-employed, not like the other regular employees that are W-2. Also, there was another comment saying she's self-employed contractor, right? Like most media entertainers these days. Yeah. So it's a different kind of employment, or whatever you want to coin it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, this case is now dismissed. The case of I don't know if the whole like public sentiment though is favorable towards this dismissal. Like I've seen a lot of people trigger like, the law should be changed. Like what are like K-pop idols, contrary to other entertainers, K-pop idols are kind of exploited a lot too. Like they start from very young ages, so people are saying there should be a specific law made for K-pop idols in general, because it's like a huge industry here, everybody knows about it, and there's like very young training years, and they have irregular time schedules and they're exploited a lot, so they should have like even stricter labor laws. So there's a lot of ping pong going on the internet about that, so I don't know. But anyways, for this case, it's now moving on. But in the meantime, of course, there's also Minijin, everybody's favorite subject. So Minijin resigns as Ador internal director, parts way with Hybe. So this is actually a huge progress, I would say, in the timeline. And former Ador CEO Minijin officially announced her resignation as the label's internal director Wednesday, which was yesterday, right? Or is it today? It's yesterday. So marking her complete departure from Hybe labels amid an escalating legal battle. So they're still going through the legal battle, but she put out a statement saying, "Today I'm resigning as internal director of Ador. I'm going to terminate the shareholders agreement with Hybe and will hold the company legally accountable for breaches of the agreement. I also plan to take all necessary legal actions against the numerous unlawful acts committed by Hybe and its affiliates." The resignation comes after months of conflict between Min and Hybe, started in April, and as everything is still going on, I don't know how this will change the tides, but at least I guess she wants to cut all ties with Hybe. And I saw in like the full announcement that or an interview that she said at this point there's no meaning or significance of myself like being in the corporation where I can't do anything. So
this obviously news. I think a lot of people in our listeners think it's been dragged out for quite a while. There's a lot of talks and not a lot of progress, but obviously this is one of the major progresses. Obviously, was it surprising? Let's be honest,
no,
it wasn't, because the fact that
it was due.
It was due, because money moves mountains. Minijin, even though she is successful, she's fighting against a major corporate company with so much money. Like she was eventually going to lose this battle. And yes, her coming out with her speech live thing, where she was very raw. At the same time, how NewJeans also backed her up, and even recently announced that they said that they will leave if MiniJean leaves. I believe it was like last week or something. NewJeans, sorry if I don't know the specific dates, but MiniJean, from what I know, has also announced that they were like, oh, we're not gonna stay if MiniJean's not the CEO or something. So we'll have to see where NewJeans moves on this from this. But I don't also think that they will be able to leave like Hive that easily as well.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But as a lot of people are saying right now, we're in the huge process of all these legalities, and Eugene's they said recently that they won't, be very cooperative to Ador as well. So I think the fight is still going on. In the meantime, right now there is breaking news. Actually, like 4 hours ago, MiniJean files lawsuit. No, there's another lawsuit against MiniJean that got confirmed. So Source Music put a suit on MiniJean for 500 million won, and this is about her saying that where is it? Source Music has shown moves to receive legal compensation for damages related to CEO MiniJean's claims regarding the debut of NewJeans. In a press conference she held herself earlier, CEO MiniJean raised issues with Source Music for neglecting some of the NewJeans members who were affiliated with her, and the fact that Le Sserafim debuted before NewJeans, and all that kind of like claiming against Source Music. So Source Music wants compensation for that, and the what do you call it? The legal battles have now begun.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be dragged out again for a long time, most likely.
So she's gonna be at court for a long time. This is what it basically means.
I feel like it's the start of the end.
And B-Lift is also suing her at the same time.
Yeah, so it's gonna be it's the start of the end.
Belief Lab. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, are we done? Are we never gonna talk about her again? Most likely not. So
yeah, but I think like, not to take anybody's side. Sorry to cut you, but I think like right now, seeing the whole chain of legal battles, normally what these big corporations do, like in general terms, is drown people with like money. Like money battles, like legal lawsuits. They take a lot of money, and if there's a legal battle against Hybe, Belief Lab, and Source Music, and they're all big companies, and she's like now an individual. She's not even a member of Ador. Like, how is she gonna get all those fees and funds? Like, even if there are like crowd funds from the fans, I don't think it's gonna be a lot. So I think their strategy is probably dragging this on as much as possible and drowning her with the suits. And she said like she's almost on the brink of selling her apartment or something. So I don't know how she's gonna handle this, but I don't know. Like, I'll give you more updates on the case when it comes out about whether who won or how the case is going on. But yeah, I just want to shorten my words here about the MiniJean case because it's very controversial, and I know everybody has their own opinion about it. So yeah, as Gloria Dawn says, see you later, MiniJean, NewJeans. Let's get back on track with the music. I just wish NewJeans puts out more music. Yeah.
But I've had this conversation with several people in the music industry as well, and there was a lot of debates on if NewJeans stays. They've expressed that they're not on the company's side. Do you think Hive will let them just like have all the best performances and like give them opportunities, or do you think they will kind of put NewJeans in the backhand and just kind of
in the shelf? Yeah,
in the shelf a little bit. Which is why then the question is, why shouldn't NewJeans leave? But even if they leave,
they can't.
Is there another company that would, do more, have the more money to help them?
Well, they would have to have the money to pull them out,
which is going
to be astronomical. So
yeah.
I believe though, like in the company's interest, the company's main interest is earning money, and NewJeans is definitely like a very big bread earner there. Like they're a cash cow. So I don't think they would try to sabotage NewJeans at this point. I think they would try to do their best of promoting them and like give them music, because like the public's eyes are on them as well too. So I don't think Hybe would go to that extent, or Ador would go to that extent. I have some kind of faith in them, but the problem is like more than their willingness, the artist and company belief is now shattered.
Yeah.
So the what do you call it, the synergy and the relationship,
The
I think,
trust.
yeah, I think that's what most matters right now. And no matter how much like planning or like, good resources are provided, if the people themselves don't feel like they want to work or they want to move forward with the team, then not the best results might be produced. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll have to see how this all unfolds. And yeah, since it's nearing 1 p.m., let me go to the last part of the show. It's the biggest controversy right now in South Korea. But before that, because it's such a debatable topic, I want to do something real quick, which is giving a shout out to the sponsor of this video, of this live stream, Sue House. Of course, I need to give the shout out at the most important moment of the stream. So Sue House over here is an app where you can get free events, tours, and all these kind of gatherings, meetups, and you can learn Korean as well and meet Korean, chat with Korean people on the app. All you have to do is go to Google Play Store, App Store, and download Sue House. You can see over here on Google Play Store, it has more than 10,000 downloads, 5-star reviews all over here, nice interfaces. You can chat with people, you can look at all the events and all that kind of stuff. And right now, what I want to specifically advertise is they are having a group class foreigner Korean pairing session. So all foreigners are paired up with Korean partners who will provide assistance. So you guys can learn Korean, you guys can practice Korean, connect with locals, make Korean friends, immerse yourself in a variety of Korean cultural experiences. And if you happen to be in Korea, every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., level beginner to intermediate in Sinchon, Seoul, that's in right in front of Yonsei. After they'll have a Korean class, and after that they go out for fun, dinner, karaoke, bars, and pubs. So go check this out if you happen to be in Korea. So look at that, like so many activities, looks so good, right? Han River Spring Picnic and all that, and bars and gatherings. So it looks like so much fun. And I know that a lot of foreigners and a lot of my subscribers are very lonely living here as just in another country. Right. So this is going to be very beneficial for them. So go check this out. And not only for the people that are living in South Korea, you can actually actively chat with Korean people on the app as well and practice your Korean for your visit. We actually sell Sue House Korean textbooks on Piroso as well. So please go check that out. And then we have a Korean style takoyaki party going on November 29th soon in the Hongdae First Street party room. So yeah, a lot of events happening on Sue House. It's the hottest place to meet Korean people over here. So please go check it out. At least follow it for more information and news updates. Go check out Sue House, and thank you for sponsoring the live stream. Yes, there you go. Rachel, hello. Thank you. Pizza. Hi, David, John. How are your elder fans doing?
Honestly, they're doing great. No, but yeah. I love that running joke, and the thing is, it's actually not lying because on my personal account I talk about news and stuff. Most of my followers are actually elder fans. So yeah, no, they're doing great, and I reply to most, if not all, messages on my Instagram. So yeah, they love sharing their opinions. So I love making communities, and they. Also, my elder fans know each other as well, so.
He's turning red again. Why do you blush about elder fans? What?
Because I feel like somebody could slide in. But yeah, no, they're doing great.
Okay. If you don't know the context or what we're talking about, go check out the last live stream we had.
You don't have to, but
no, yes, please. Do check out. Please do check out, because John made a Freudian slip there, and he said like I like my elderly something over there.
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I love my elder.
Even DMs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Because the thing is, I think I'm the smallest influencer creator on your channel ever.
Okay.
Which is why, because I've checked all your videos, and I know you get a lot of like kind of micro influencers, but I have the least followers, so I'm very like, I don't consider myself an influencer or celebrity, so I can if anybody messages me, I can check. I have like, even if a lot of people send me messages, I'll have at max like 6. So I just reply to all of them.
Oh, you replied to all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna get a ton of DMs today then.
No, only from my elder fans though. Sorry.
Oh, you reply only to your elder fans?
No, let's carry on. But we have a serious topic.
Okay.
Coming up.
We have a serious topic. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So, as you know, the Dongduk Women's University right now is going through a major protest because this article is mistranslated, but basically what's going on is that there were rumors, there were some announcements that the college says that was misspread, that they actually had no intention of transitioning the school into co-ed school. But since that rumor is spread already and the news already hit the media, a lot of the students, just rised up and they formed, they had their student council already, and the president of the student council gathered all the people, and they have officially challenged and battled the school, and they said that they will not allow the school to transition into co-ed in any means, any matters. So they're going super hard on it, and everybody is voting, and almost 2,000 people gathered, and every single person in the spot said that they oppose to the school's alleged decision of transitioning to co-ed. So yeah, it's escalating a lot, and as you can see right now, not only the gatherings, but the issue is becoming more aggravated because of the methods these students are taking. So apparently the students are kind of like vandalizing the campus. So as you can see, they are spraying paint and like, what do you call these, graffitis on the campus. Like, this is the whole campus right now, and the entrance, like, they're, the streets are all, painted. This is like the founder's statue. It's been, kind of vandalized again as well, and the whole campus is now looking like this, and they're doing major protests. So also some of the students went to like one of the, what do you call it, job seeking fairs, and they actually demolished the booths and all that. So yeah, it's becoming a very severe problem. And so what's happening is the Seoul City draws a line with Dongduk Women's University incident, and they said that violence is not justified, so there will be no support. What they mean by no support is because of the whole painting and the whole vandalism thing, there's going to be a lot of cleaning fees, right? Apparently it's going to be 50억. So how much is 50억 in USD? It's like 5 million, right?
It's a billion. Is it billion?
5 million USD.
Billion, yeah.
Yeah, 50,000 is 5천만 원, or 5억. 5,000 is 500. 50,000 is 5천. 5 million is wait.
Is that translation not correct?
No, this is Korean won. This is Korean won. So it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of money anyways. So Dongduk Women's University restoration cost is going to be a lot, but Seoul City government said that they have no responsibility over that, so there's going to be no support. And the students are saying, we don't need support, we'll clean it all ourselves, but a lot of people don't believe that because, this is going to be very hard to clean by themselves. The professors right now are saying, appealing to the students, stop the illegal activities. This is not a way an intellectual college student should be protesting, but the students are very strong on this matter, and they are saying like, you're not going to listen to us. The professors don't have any interest in our message and all that. And so basically why they are protesting is that the founding mindset, the founding message, the foundation of the university is to, make a safe place for
Right.
women, make a better place, better environment for women to get proper education, and without the fear of getting harassed or anything. And also is to just like escalate women's rights in general.
Right.
And these people acknowledge that still in society there's a lot of disparity between genders. Like there's a gender pay gap, there's a lot of gender discrimination, women's discrimination, there's a lot of misogyny going on in the world. So like these women's universities were created to escalate those women's rights.
Right.
And stealing that foundation from these students, a lot of students are saying like, we entered this university with that kind of value, but if you're talking about like transitioning to co-ed right now, that's like fraud. That's like
Right.
ripping like our rights from us, and the students are the owners of the college, so we cannot agree to your decision. So that's basically what's going on right now. And I'm not sure of the source, because like all the sources are all like very disputed, and it's like very challenged by each other side. But according to the internet, correct me if I'm wrong, if you know better, the school has come out with an official announcement saying that they have never officially discussed whether to transition into a co-ed school. They said that there were talks about it, like about specific departments, like acting
Yeah.
departments, because acting in particular needs like an opposite role, right? If you want to act in a certain play, there needs to be a male. So for those kind of departments, they wanted to introduce maybe males, or maybe some exchange students, like foreigner students. They could introduce males as well. And there were talks about that, but there wasn't any official, school stance about like transitioning to co-ed. But the students are very careful about this incident, because for other schools in past cases, how they started transitioning to co-ed was exactly by introducing like these little loopholes and these little cases of bringing more men into the campus, and then it deemed to be okay, and then the school just like flipped 180. So so the students are just trying to cut all the possibilities in the first place, and it's becoming a huge ripple in society now, because of the, I guess, on the media they portray it as illegal activities and violence. It's becoming a gender conflict as well. Outsiders, especially men in the male dominant communities, they're criticizing their behavior and all that. So it's a huge mess right now, and we'll have to see how it unfolds. But anyways, I'm putting you on a hard spot. What do you think about this? What other information do you have? Or go on.
So this topic is a very much discussed topic right now, and I brought a little bit of facts as well. Talking about how there's been a lot of protests, and it's basically the situation has gotten a lot worse recently, because like you said, a lot of like male dominant communities, and there's one specifically that articles have cited to, which is it's called Man on Solidarity, and it's an anti-feminist group, and they decided that they're going to report to the police those protesters, these students protesters, as well as they decided that they're going to hold protests themselves. They haven't actually done it, but they said they were thinking, or they were planning to hold protests themselves against these female students' protests. And so right now, multiple students and multiple male men have gone into the women's only campus. And I do want to clarify that in certain times and at certain specific locations, men are allowed to go onto certain women's only campuses. For example, I've been to Iwa's Women's University's campus. You're not allowed to go into certain buildings, but in certain buildings and certain floors, you are allowed to. But however, recently, several men went into this university at times where they were not allowed to. And as of right now, a report showed that 3 men were arrested. one case where two men were arrested, wandering around the campus at prohibited time, and another man was also arrested at a separate occasion. But all three men were in their 20s, and they are speculated to be within the man on solidarity group. But yes, a lot of conversations are going on about this. Dongduk Women's University. At the same time, there's a lot of other issues. The reason this is getting a lot of light is because of the fact that because another university called Seoul's Women's University, they started getting also a lot of spray paints on their campus as well, because a professor there was accused of sexually harassing students. And this happened like several years ago, but it's coming into light now. And his punishment, basically, he got a 3-month pay reduction in September, which is nothing compared to what he's done. So a lot of people are protesting, doing very similar things. If you search up Seoul Women's University, they have a lot of graffiti on their campus as well. So there's a lot of conversations around Women's University at the moment, and a lot of like men are saying, okay, should there even be gender specific universities? And a lot of conversations are going about it right now.
Right. I guess, yeah, as what you said about the example of Seoul, that triggered one thing too. But I think the biggest narrative fight right now is a lot of people are assuming probably the most reasonable reason why Dongduk Women's University is trying to transition is because of the assumably low population, like the decline of population. It's getting harder to get admissions from students, and there will be financial cripples. There will be problems with maintaining the university as a whole, and a university at the core is like a business as well. So for the foundation and for the personnel, for the faculty, they all have jobs and all sorts of stuff. So it's not only like a 4-year term for the universities themselves. So they want to prolong, they want to diversify, and they want to sustain their business and their university's legacy as well too. So I guess in those terms, they're looking out for the future. And like, even though they said they're not into like official talks about transitioning, people are assuming that the tide is right now, like it's inevitable to not transition into a co-ed school if you want to survive in this, population crisis and this new environment and this atmosphere, because like 90%, more than 5% of all the universities in Korea are co-ed. And so like people are assuming that on this side. So people who are, I guess, outsiders that really, in my opinion, don't have any say in this, because I do at the end ultimately think it's up to the students, and they have the voices and they have the rights. But outsiders who are just assuming all of this are saying like, maybe it could be seen that the students are selfish because they will only be there for 4 years. But in the school's perspective, they need to keep on, going. They need to maintain and sustain their university. And I think the talk about that came out very more vividly, because this is a major tagline that's going on among the Dongduk Women's University students right now. They're saying, even if we disappear, we will not open. So they are saying, even if our school shuts down, even if our school stops its legacy, I don't care about the school, we will not open, because that is not the foundation, mindset, and that's not the message of our school. So so a lot of people got very triggered over that tagline, I guess. Like, people are saying like, so you're not wishing the best of the well-being of your foundation. You're not putting that in priority. Like, so like there's a lot of debate against that. And as I said, as outsiders, I don't think anybody has a say. And I honestly don't understand the gender conflicts going on, because like, why do men have a say in this anyways? It's their school. So they're just standing from afar and then throwing shit because like it's entertaining to them, I guess, and they want to throw shit. But in my opinion, though, if you want, if I want to play the devil's advocate, or like just, think in the men's point of view that want to shit on them on purpose, just let them be then. Like, you know, in the men's perspective, if you want to see them fall so much, if you want to see them trip, and if you want to see them getting demolished by their own narratives, like, your thoughts is that if you continue as like a women's only university, then the university will disappear, right? And then they'll feel good, right? Then why are you like even fighting about this? Just let them be. Then the women's university will disappear eventually if your narrative, if your theory is right. So I don't know why the men are like instigating all this like kind of gender conflicts here. I think for the students, they should just be let, you know, they should have all the rights to protest. They should be the ones that are solving the inner conflicts. So yeah, like I don't understand why this is becoming like a huge like gender conflict while it's just a issue about themselves, about their rights, about their school. So yeah,
I agree with you in the sense, and also like there are people that genuinely love that university for what it is right now. To give my perspective, like I went to a boys only middle and high school in New Zealand, and I remember feeling very proud of that. Well, at the time I didn't want to because I wanted to go to school with girls, but after graduating, I felt very like, oh, we're like kind of like brotherhood. And I talked to a lot of my female friends in Ewha University and other universities, and they feel a strong sisterhood, and they went to the university not because it's the best university out of all the other universities they got into, but they went into that university because it is the best university that they truly wanted to get into. So yeah, changing their identity I think is a huge thing. So I think, you know, I understand why these students are protesting, and hopefully with a lot of these, you know, I hope the school doesn't think about money, but thinks about, you know, what the students really want and what's best for them. Because what's best for money, what's best for the school and stuff, what like those I think are not as important as, you know, the people that go to that school. So
so it's a very
it's ongoing.
It's an ongoing situation. I think it's going to escalate even more. Unless the school puts out like an official announcement saying that we're completely scrapping any kind of possibilities of transitioning into co-ed. Unless that's the case, then I think the protesting will go on for a while. So let's see how this unfolds, and we'll give you an update. So I really need to go now. I'm on a very big rush. So sorry guys, I'll have to cut it short here. Do you have anything more you want to add?
Thanks for tuning in today's show. We had a few donations just before while we were in the last topic. I did just want to say that I saw some of them. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think Dolly Baby at the end, and then the last one as well. Dolly
Baby, thank you for the 5. I'm an Elder fan. Appreciate that. Rachel, thank you for the 2. Please don't leave yet. I just got here. I'm sorry. I have a deadline at 2 p.m. and it's really, really pushing right now.
But thank you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys again. Comment on this video and every other video that, you know, bring John back. I am looking at all of them and I'm liking all of them. So thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys very soon.
Yeah, thanks for being here, John. I'll order him a nice, fat, big, juicy ass pizza, Papa John's pizza, because he's John. So yeah. Carol Clarkson, thank you for the 2. Come back soon, John. Pizza. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who's watched. If you're not a subscriber of this channel, don't forget to subscribe before you go. I've put the chat as subscriber only, so you only will be able to chat if you're a subscriber. If you want to participate, please subscribe. Go check out Patreon. Please support me over there. It's the best way to support me. You get extra content, K-pop reactions, all that kind of stuff. So don't forget that. Check out piroso.net. Buy your Korean authentic products over there. We have very new products and new brands, and we have interesting blogs over there as well. I just put a new blog about the best places to visit in Seoul during the winter time on our website. I will not show you, I will not spoil because you won't visit otherwise. So go check out piroso.net. Thank you, Sue House, for sponsoring the video, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with John again. Bye.
Bye, Elder fans.
Yeah, if you want John again in the chat, please spam J. yeah, I'll leave it out. I'll leave it here for a while without sound so that we can see this chat spamming. And bye bye.